Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today I want to give you a little overview of the Bladesin or Blade Fury Assassin, which is a very effective build to do magic find runs, especially like in Travincal. You can also do cow runs with it, you can also do Chaos Sanctuary. It's very versatile and it's not super expensive to start out with. So let's get right into the skills. I've put in 1 point into Dragonfly to have a little bit of movement. This is not mandatory, but it is nice to have, especially when you want to reposition your mercenary, for example. Then for Shadow Disciplines, I have maxed out Claw Mastery to get more damage. I have 1 point into Cloak of Shadows, a very, very good tool you will see later. I have 1 point into Weapon Block, although I'm now at the moment using a shield. But when I want to use a second claw, then it's very handy. I have the rest of my points into Venom because I have 20 into Blade Sentinel, 20 into Blade Fury, and 20 into Blade Shield. Blade Fury will be our main damage dealing skill, along with support damage from Blade Sentinel. So what does the gear look like? I have full Natalyas set, which gives us a lot of what we want and need. The set bonus speaks for itself, plus 3 to skill levels, a lot of mana and life leech, 50 all res, 30% damage reduction, and 15 magic damage reduced, which is very, very helpful against all the Hydras and Travincal, for example, among other stuff. I have socketed this weapon with an East Rune to get more magic find, because this is a magic find variant, as you will see. The helmet has as well perfect topaz in it. It's not the best helmet. I still am looking for like a perfect one, and then I can maybe put an East Rune in it, which gives 1% more magic find, which doesn't make that much of a difference, but you know, hunting for perfect items. Same goes for the body armor, where you want 3 sockets in your Natalyas Shadow, and then socket it with perfect topazes. If you want more damage, you can also go with enhanced damage jewels, for example. If you need more life, you can go with perfect rubies, and so on. I have currently a High Lord's Wrath amulet. You can also and should use an Admas Scarab if you don't have like a sturdy mercenary to help you out with a Reaper's Toll. More on that later. I have a Rhyme Shield right now. I could also use like a Barthox in my offhand to get nice plus 2 skills, and then socket it with an East Rune, for example, to get a little bit more magic find. But the Rhyme Shield for now does the job. And of course, Natalyas Boots, then a Nasal Ring with a magic find, a Gold Wrap Belt with magic find, and a Raven Frost, which could also potentially be exchanged for another Nasal Ring to get more magic find, because we have cannot be frozen on the Rhyme Shield. Although cannot be frozen is not even that important, because the Blade Fury will still shoot at the same pace. Doesn't matter if you are frozen or not. But of course it helps to move around faster, and to be frozen is very annoying. Then Laying on Hands is a very crucial part of this gear, because it has plus 350% damage to demons, along with a lot of fire resist, of course. But this will enhance your damage very, very much. To demons, of course, but a lot of the enemy types are demons, especially the Travincal Council. Then for charms, just a different assortment of magic find, attack rating, dexterity, Agites, plus 2 trap skiller helps. It's not mandatory, but it's nice to have. Shadow Disciplines can be nice. The fast hit recovery can stack up to a good breakpoint. And of course, some resistances, and an Annie and a torch. That's the gear. On the offhand, Call to Arms and the Spirit Shield. And for the Mercenary, I have a Reaper's Toll, a Guardian Angel, and a Kyros Guardian to give him a lot of resistances to be able to survive the Travincal Council. So this is tailored around Travincal Council, as well as have the Decrepify to break immunities. So I don't need to use Admas Scarab, but I could also use Admas to break immunities and give my Mercenary something else, or use a different Mercenary. It's also Might Mercenary, so when the aura kicks in, we do get a damage boost. As for the stats, enough strength to equip my gear, which is, I guess, pretty high, because like the body armor needs 149, and I think this is not optimal. I could like reskill, and I don't need that much strength, but it's fine for now. And dexterity I have around 200, because I like to have more attack rating, as well as high block chance if I'm using a shield, and the rest into vitality. You see that I don't have that much life, but along with all the resistances and the 30% damage reduction on my Natalyas set, which I could also complement with a string of ears if I want to have more, I could also use a storm shield. if you want to survive better, if you're playing hardcore, for example, that would be the way to go. But for now, this is plenty enough along with battle orders to survive. So let's get into dealing some damage and killing some demons. And I really like Travincal Council, and what I forgot is show you the magic find, which is, I think, very decent. It's 281%. So this is a very good build to go magic finding and to find some nice items. And as I said before, you could also go with a second Nation Ring if you're using Rhyme Shield, or mix and match some stuff. I could also like use something for the amulet with magic find and have more charms or something. I think this can well go maybe up until 400%. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but there is some room for even more magic find. But for now, like around 200 is very, very good. And magic find has diminishing returns anyways. So let's buff up. I like to play this build with controller because it's very smooth with the Blade Fury. But basically, for the council run up, you can use one Bladesin, you use Cloak of Shadows, which is very important because all the normal council members won't react to you anymore and won't spawn any more Hydras. And as you can see, council is already dead. That was quick. Sometimes they stack up very nice, and since your Blade Fury goes in a straight line, it means they will be dying very, very quickly. Of course, you can also go, I don't know, maybe to Eldritch and Shank and stuff, but this is not very exciting to see, I guess, because they will just fall pretty quickly. A little bit of an issue is the chance to hit with Blade Fury. As you can see, I have around 13k attack rating, and still like the chance to hit is not perfect. I think on Bale is like 77% or something. So it's a bit awkward sometimes against uniques and champions, I guess. Because we do have ignores target defense on our weapons, so normal monsters are not a problem. But yeah, sometimes it seems like you don't do damage, but because we are throwing out so many of these blade furies, of these blades with Blade Fury, it is mostly fine, and you won't have that many issues or something. I mean, you saw like the council dropped pretty fast, so. But Cloak of Shadows is a very, very good tool in your belt because it also affects unique monsters. Not that they are blind, but they will have reduced defenses. The Real Flame, of course, we don't have like teleport aside from our dragon finisher. What is it called? Oh, let's mix those up. Like this is Dragon Talon, right? And this is Dragon Flight. Oh, Flight, yeah, of course. Oh, I'm mixing up the others. As you can see, there's literally no problem in disposing of all those monsters, even though they are not demons. Because we have a lot of extra damage against demons. And maybe I can teleport up there, yes. You can just rip through everything. To also go like players 3, players 5 with this build, this is not an issue. I can't do it now because this is my Battle.net character. It's not on solo offline play. And this build does feel a bit more smoother when you play it on offline, I must say, because sometimes like there's a little bit of server desync or lag or ping or delay or whatever that feels as if your blades are not connecting, but maybe it's just me. As you saw here before, there was a physical immune, but our mercenary procs decrepify pretty consistently, so it's not an issue. And this may not be like the fastest build ever, because like with a Nova Sources, for example, you can just teleport in and then kill everything. But it's also very, very safe, and you can use this in higher player counts. And it's just like perfect for Travincal. You have like 1 minute runs of Travincal per average, which is a very, very good time. And you don't have to teleport up to Travincal because you can just run there. But yeah, that's basically the build. It's one of my favorite builds. This is my leather character. Speaks for itself. And I did a lot of Travincal runs because they're really quick. Let's do one more because I really recommend this build for starting out with Travincal. Then if you find your low rune, you can make a Grief, and then you can like make a Barbarian. And of course, if you have like also around 1 minute times on the Barbarian or 1 minute 30 for a Travincal run on average, then it's more efficient than with the Blade Fury Assassin, because you can also find item on the consul's corpses. But I found like even with little gear, you can quickly kill all of the council. Look at this. This is so fast, and it really depends on how they line up. Can be even faster then, but this is it. Like, I don't know if this was even 1 minute, right? But if you go like from login to walking up to the waypoint, which is pretty fast since we do have burst of speed, so you use that, walk up and use the waypoint, Travincal, also use your CTA, but also works without it, of course. Just after I found the necessary rune, the Om rune, I made my CTA. And you use Cloak of Shadows, maybe a Blade Sentinel. And then maybe position yourself so you line up nicely. And there you go. Nice and easy. It's just threading through. And to be honest, again, you don't need much gear. Natalyas set is almost worth nothing because almost nobody uses it. But for this purpose and for this character, it's very, very nice. So yeah, this was it. Also check out my other videos on this character, because I also have a video on how to do the cow level. Of course, there's another variant where you use Death Sentry, which is also very nice, which is then quicker in like Chaos Sanctuary, for example, or in the cow level, like where the density is higher. But I use this build because I mainly farm Travincal, and in Travincal I don't need Death Sentry, because as you saw, they just fall so quickly, I don't even have time to put down the Death Sentries. But be sure to check those videos out. And yeah, leave me a comment on what do you think about this build. Have you tried it? Do you like it? Have you had some success? I also have a video series where I do a solo self-found hardcore run with this build, which is also possible. So this is also possible to use this in hardcore. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, good luck, have fun, and goodbye.